welcome to the stage Professor Dan Shechtman, Nobel Laureate and Professor of Materials Science at Iowa State University.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here. My name is Dan Shechtman, and I will speak to you for a few minutes about the following subject. Science and technology progress in two avenues. One avenue is evolution. The other avenue is revolution. Evolution is predictable. We can predict what will happen. For instance, let me give you examples. We can say that all cars, or mostly all cars, will be electric in the future. How do we know? Because it started already. Many of you drive electric cars. Cancer. Most cancers will be cured. How do we know? It started already. And if you look at the world today, another subject which is very prominent is AI. And I think that AI will not only affect our lives theoretically, but very practically. And AI will do that by controlling traffic. I didn't see traffic jams in Abu Dhabi, by the way, but I do see traffic jams all over the world in big cities. And AI will be able to control the situation, control traffic lights. Traffic lights are not very wise in many cities. They are pre-programmed, and they don't see the situation as it exists. And AI could control traffic in big cities. But to do that, AI will need eyes. So the way I see it is that in every intersection in a big city, there will be a camera, that the camera will be connected to a center which is controlled by AI, and AI will control all traffic lights in a big city. AI will know where there are parking spots. Today, in big cities, you look for parking spots, you can spend a lot of time to find a place. AI will tell you there are 3 spaces free in this parking lot, or there are 3 free parking spaces in this underground parking space. AI can do that. So this is the way AI, beyond everything else, will affect our very daily lives. So traffic lights will be controlled, and I would like to go now to the other subject, and the other subject is the science of physiology and medicine. To understand the fantastic times that we live in, let me take you back to history. In the 14th century, there was a plague in Europe. It was called the Black Plague. There was no science, no medicine, and half of the population of Europe died in the Black Plague. And then it stopped. Fast forward, 1928, Alexander Fleming discovers penicillin. Fantastic observation. Alexander Fleming tries to make quantities of penicillin. He did not succeed. England, the empire, the British Empire, tried to make quantities of penicillin. They did not succeed. And then the United States came into the game, and they made penicillin in quantities. And penicillin saved lives of many wounded soldiers in the Second World War. But for the first time that penicillin was available to simple people in the pharmacy was 1945. It took 17 years between discovery and availability of penicillin in the pharmacy. 17 years. Come back to our times. Several years ago, we had a pandemic, coronavirus pandemic. Within 1 year, there were vaccines available for billions of people within 1 year. The number of vaccines administered in the world is more than the population of the world. 13.5 billion vaccines were administered. That's because many people received many vaccines. I received several vaccines. I received the coronavirus myself twice. It felt like a mild, common cold when I was vaccinated. But this was developed mainly by two companies, Moderna and BioNTech. And their development depended on science. And there were several people who contributed to that science. First of all, these two people received a Nobel Prize, Katalin and Drew Weissman received the Nobel Prize for working on messenger RNA. You know, the messenger RNA goes into the ribosome and gives order to produce proteins. And in this particular case, the protein was the spikes of the virus. And our body learned that the spikes of the virus are the enemy. And the spikes are no enemy, but the virus is. So when the virus attacked, our immune system knew, hey, this is an enemy, and it solved the problem. Other vaccines were developed in many countries, but these were fantastic vaccines, and it's all based on the work of these two fantastic scientists who received the Nobel later on. The other development happened now. This is Nobel chemistry this year. This is the recent Nobel. These three gentlemen did something fantastic. The gentleman on the left can create proteins from amino acid chains. He takes amino acids, creates a chain, and the chain folds to form a protein. He can make, and he does make proteins that exist, and he can make proteins that do not exist. This is fantastic future for the science of medicine. It's when it will be used, and I hope and I know that it will be used. The other two gentlemen can do the following. They can predict how a chain of amino acids will fold. And that is very important. Because if a chain of amino acids does not fold the right way, it has a problem. It creates a protein that can be harmful. And so these three gentlemen really solved a major issue, and it will affect our future. So what do we see here? We see that the science of physiology, as it is affected, as it is granted the Nobel Prizes and other prizes, is making great advances in our times, really great advances. And it will affect the health of everybody, and it does affect the health of everybody. And the vaccines that were created for the coronavirus are a good example, but it is based on basic science. And this is why investment in basic science is so crucial and is so important for mankind. And government should understand that, and I know that your government understands it very, very well. AI is the last thing, will affect all of us. And the only example that I gave is how it will affect traffic in big cities. And this is not something in the air. This is something that you will feel. This is something that you'll see, that traffic in big cities will be streamlined and it will go much faster. And when you look for a parking spot, you will find one thanks to information provided by AI. The integrating power of AI will affect each and every one of us. Thank you very much.